Fortunate by Dylan Dotson. When the ball was coming into the play, he could have got Kel Smith because he was advancing to second, but the umpire got in the way of that ball, and the runner advances to second. Now we have another runner in scoring position. Now up to the plate is Cameron Carway, the left fielder for the Queen City Broncos today.
First pitch misses high and away. Ball 1-1-0. So for those of you just joining us, Queen City has a 1-0 lead after a Weston reach on air and a Kel Smith double. Here's the 1-0. Big wave on a curveball. Up to hit is Cam Caraway, the left fielder.
Out of Wingate University, this year in college, he had 67 at-bats with 14 hits, 15 RBIs, and a .209 batting average. Out of Rockingham, North Carolina, as we see him swinging at strike two.
So it's quickly a 1-2 count for Caraway. As there still is an opportunity to drive in more runs with a runner standing on second base. A big swing and a miss, and that will be the inning. So a better start for Street on the mound than what we saw on Friday, as one run is allowed by the Copperheads. We'll be right back for the bottom of the first. And welcome back to Hough High School for the bottom of the first inning, and leading off action for the Copperheads, the center fielder Kyle Horton.
Horton, a right-handed hitter at a Lewisburg College. He transferred from Charleston Southern. This past year in college, he had 12 at-bats, 3 hits, and a batting average of .250 as we see that ball getting driven into center field. The center going back, and that'll be over his head. Kyle Horton racing to second, see if he'll stay at second, and he will. A great leadoff hit by Kyle Horton, the first pitch of the game, attacking the pitcher, John Perez Cruz, and getting off to a good start, Lake Norman Copperheads.
So yeah, quick action for the Copperheads to try to counter what the Broncos did in the top of the first inning. They have a stand-up double on the first pitch they see. So up next to hit, Michael Shelton, the second baseman, with a man in scoring position and nobody out.
A good hit by Kyle Horn, driving that ball up right up the middle as we see that first strike go by right over the center fielder's head.
So the first pitch to Shelton, a called strike down the middle of the plate. It's 0-1. The 0-1 to Shelton. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Perez Cruz trying to get a quick out to reduce the risk of having a man in scoring position. He's got an 0-2 count on Shelton. From the stretch. Fouled back into the screen. Will stay at 0-2.
A little bit about John Perez Cruz. He is a right-handed pitcher out of Charlotte, North Carolina. He's going to be going into his senior year at West Virginia Institution of Tech, excuse me. Perez Cruz still working on an 0-2 count, trying to get the strikeout on Ryan Williamson.
That one misses inside. This is Michael Shelton up to hit.
Oh, yeah, excuse me. Ryan Williamson plays on the Broncos.
Still a 1-2, or now a 1-2 count after the curveball missed low and in.
A good test pitch by Perez Cruz.
Contact made with that one as well. Will stay at a 1-2 count.
Back-to-back inside pitches. That first one was an off-speed, and that was a fastball inside.
Still in the stretch, Perez Cruz working on what feels like a much longer count than it actually is. Here comes the 1-2. Made contact with, sent down the right side, and it's going to make it to the outfield. A good throw into the field will make Kyle Horton stay at third base, so it's now runners on the corners with no outs.
Yeah, good throw by the outfielder there for the Broncos, holding Kyle Horton from going home. That would have been a very close play at home if he would have decided to go.
But overall, just a very well-fought at-bat by Michael Shelton. Worked from an 0-2 count to get a single to advance the runner and to get himself on base.
Now coming up to the plate for the Copperheads, Tyler White, the DH today.
He's got runners on first and third base. Here comes the first pitch from Perez Cruz, a curveball that makes its way into the strike zone for an 0-1 count. Runners on first and third. Here's the 0-1. And that one's going to make it through the catcher's legs, and here comes Horton at home, and he'll make it standing up. So the game is now tied as Lake Norman puts one across in the bottom of the first.
As you see, Perez Cruz not very happy with that pitch, a low fastball right under the legs of Cal Smith, and getting the runner home and then getting the runner from first to second. Still no outs in this inning. We'll see if Perez Cruz can get out of this jam and only allow one run.
It's a 1-1 count.
Big lead from the runner.
This time is going to be called.
Michael Shelton almost was halfway to third base there, and he said, I think I'm going to get back now, and got back safely.
Called a strike, now 1-2.
We saw that outside part of the plate. That's where a lot of pitchers were going to last Friday night. That's where the umpire liked it. And we'll see what the umpire strike zone is tonight.
The 1-2 to Tyler White. A pickoff move to second.
He got him.
Oh, and the ball squirts into the outfield. Advancing to third base is Shelton. And the defensive woes continue for the Broncos.
I mean, he had him at second base. A very good job by John Perez Cruz checking that runner for the second time in this at-bat and just right under the second baseman's glove. Ryan Williamson could not get the glove down to that one. And on the game Friday night, that was the biggest thing for really both teams was fielding woes, and both teams will try to keep those down tonight.
So still sitting at a 1-2 count is Perez Cruz. Contact made, sent up to the shortstop. The run will score, and the shortstop is unable to field it cleanly. That is
Zach Weston.
Zach Weston, the leadoff man for the Broncos, and it's now a 2-1 lead for Lake Norman.
That was unfortunate by Weston. I mean, that ball just gave him a bad hop right before he was about to field it. And lucky for the Copperheads, get a runner on first base and get that run home. Now we see so far in this inning, both middle infielders having a little bit of trouble of their own.
So 1 man on, nobody out, already 2 runs scored for the Copperheads. Pickoff move to first base unsuccessful.
Stepping up to the plate is Hunter Bryson. He was the second baseman in Friday night's game. Today he is the extra hitter for the Lake Norman Copperheads. Hunter out of Appalachian State University. He's born in Charlotte, North Carolina, played at Providence High School. He plays second base in the outfield. He was a star QB in high school.
So first pitch to him is a ball. It's 1-0. Still 1 man on and nobody out. The 1-0 misses away. 2-0.
Now, Perez Cruz, he's going to have to pitch well tonight because if they blow through their bullpen in the first game, it's going to be a struggle for the Queen City Broncos in the second game.
At least these games are only 7 innings.
Yes.
In terms of pitcher fatigue.
If Perez Cruz does not go long here, they'll need their second starter to work at least 4 innings in the second one.
So quickly down 3-0 is Perez Cruz with a man on first base and still nobody out. And that one's going to miss high and away, so a 4-pitch walk gives the Copperheads another free base runner.
If I'm Cal Smith, I'm going out to Perez Cruz right now. Just tell him to calm down a little bit, and regain his bearings in this one. He's going to need some good pitches coming up next.
Next up to hit for the Copperheads, Peyton Brown, the first baseman. With 2 men on and nobody out, that first pitch is fouled off into the screen behind the plate, 0-1.
A ground ball would really help Perez Cruz here try to get a double play and have 2 outs in this inning instead of 0. As he steps off the mound looking at the runner at second base, that runner at second base is Tyler White.
So it's an 0-1 count. Right down the heart of the plate, now up 0-2.
Now it's a big decision for Ryan Williamson at second base. Do you hold the runner on at second or try to stay off and have more of a chance of a double play?
The 0-2 count with 2 men on, and that one's going to hit him.
Bases loaded.
This is disaster for Perez Cruz. He has had no trouble getting ahead of counts for basically every guy but one so far today, but he's just unable to close out those counts, either allowing hits or hitting batters, and this is the exact last way that he would want to start his game.
Yeah, Perez Cruz, he's not pitching terribly. He's just he's getting in front of hitters, but later in the count, he doesn't have that put-away stuff.
Next up to hit, Jared Urich, the third baseman.
A sophomore out of Lake Wiley, South Carolina.
That one's going to miss inside, 1-0.
Had 2 at-bats this year. One of them was a hit, and that hit was a home run, so pretty good year for him. Not much action, but the action that he had was a home run.
Second take is a strike, 1-1. But Urich, his stance is very interesting because he squats down quite a bit. It almost looks like a stance you'd see in a 12U rec baseball, but he obviously makes it work as he can definitely pivot and get a lot of power out of this stance. Here comes the 1-1 as he takes a curveball that makes its way across the plate, 1-2.
Yeah, Urich definitely does not have the most conventional stance, but if it works for him, then that's all that matters.
Here comes the 1-2. hit out to center field. It is a catch, but here comes the runner in from third base, and he will advance to the plate. It's now a 3-1 lead for Lake Norman after the sacrifice fly and the first out of the inning.
If you're Jared Urick there, you're not going to get a hit there, but at least you're getting the runner in.
Good contact by him and good job advancing the runner.
Next up for the Copperheads is Zeb Burns, the left fielder today.
First pitch to him, just too high, 1-0.
As we see the second baseman, Williamson, checking on the runner at second. That ball is inside, and oh wow, the runner at second catching the Queen City Broncos off guard. Kel Smith throwing the ball back to the pitcher, Perez Cruz, and Peyton Brown just getting over to third base on that. As we see the manager for the Broncos coming down and having a talk with Perez Cruz.
Yeah, these first innings have definitely been a subject of torment.
Yes. Well, we've seen that really all around the league, is that every game that I've been looking at this year is that starters are not going very far, and then when you have a relief pitcher, he'll go 3 or 4 innings with not many runs allowed.
So the mound visit happening out there. I don't believe Perez Cruz will be coming out this early.
No, they couldn't. I mean, especially in a doubleheader. Yeah, they're not.
So they're going to retreat back to their positions.
Especially after Perez Cruz gets his first out only a batter ago. You can't take him out then.
Zeb Burns still up to hit with a 1-0 count.
That was a close play at first.
Went for the pickoff move straight out of the gate.
As we see, one thing that Perez Cruz has done very well today is keeping those runners close at first or second base. He is he's utilizing the pickoff move. How we see that one is a high ball.
So quickly, 2-0.
Burns wanted to go on that one, but held up just in time for that one to be a ball, and now he's in a very good hitter's count, 2-0.
Called strike, 2-1.
Perez Cruz
move.
Checking the runner at first base, and he gets back there safely. Second time in that bat, Perez Cruz has checked the runner at first base. And the pitch will be a foul ball over to the softball field. As Burns is working this count very nicely. We've seen Cruz in these last 2 batters has really got his stuff back. Throwing a lot more strikes and really attacking the batters, as we see that one will be ball 4, loading the bases. And coming up next for the Copperheads, Dylan Dotson, the catcher. As this is a high pressure situation for him.
No. Now batting for Lake Norman, number 20, Dylan Dotson.
Dylan Dotson, a right-handed catcher out of Carson Newman College. And he's a local boy out of Huntersville, North Carolina. Went to Lincoln Charter. And we'll see what he can do here in a high pressure situation. Bases loaded and only 1 out in the inning.
First pitch. Misses outside, 1-0.
I thought that was a pretty good frame by Kel Smith. That definitely could have been a strike there, and that would have definitely helped Perez Cruz getting ahead in the count early.
It was very close, but the umpire said nope. Just too far outside. Here comes the 1-0.
Nice.
That one's a good frame job.
Yeah.
1-1.
Kel Smith behind the plate these last two pitches has really showed off his framing ability.
Here comes the 1-1. Good block there by catcher Kel Smith to keep that one in front of him. It'll be a 2-1 count now with bases loaded. Contact made, sent it into shallow center field, and he dropped it. Or he didn't drop it, it was just a bad read on the play, and everyone's going to advance. So center fielder, not sure who the center fielder is, might be...
Let me check right now.
That's Jack Masonis.
Yep.
Completely misread that pop fly. Thought it was going much farther than it actually was. And it's now bases loaded again.
Perez Cruz hasn't been pitching the greatest, but he definitely can't thank his, as that will send the runner home. As I was saying, Perez Cruz hasn't been pitching the greatest today, but his fielders have not been helping him too much.
So it's now a 5-1 lead for Lake Norman.
Now, this is a very hard situation for the manager. Do you take out Perez Cruz and try to bring a new pitcher in and maybe stop the bleeding a little bit, or do you let Perez Cruz work and try to save the bullpen for later in this game and the second game today?
I think you leave him out there here,
Yeah.
honestly. Oh, and that's a well-hit ball out to deep left center field. It's going at the wall.
Yeah.
It's stuck in the wall. Oh, they've got it. Multiple runners are coming around. Here's the throw into the plate. Way too high. And that will clear the bases, a 3-run double.
Second time this game that we've seen the Copperheads hit very far fly balls. The first one was Kyle Horton on the first pitch of the game, hitting into center field, and both of those fly balls landing right short of a home run at the track.
Center fielder, number 5, Kyle Horton.
And that was just a great hit there by Alden Horn, the right fielder. Clearing the bases and giving himself a stand-up double.
Now up to the plate for the second time this inning is Kyle Horton. I was talking about him earlier on the first pitch of the game. He sent that far fly ball into center field over the center fielder's head for a stand-up double, and we'll see if he can do it again. Obviously, he liked what Perez Cruz was pitching, and he might like it even more if he hits it another good fly ball.
Sent that one to shallow right at the center fielder, and that will be the second out of the inning. A good field there by Ryan Wilson? Williamson to get the second out. 11 batters in.
Now,
next up to hit, number 2, Michael Shelton, the second baseman. He's still got a man in scoring position with 2 outs, but in a completely different situation to what he had last time he was up.
yes.
His team now leading by 8 runs. First pitch outside, ball 1.
If you're Perez Cruz, you just got to throw some good pitches, and hopefully your defense will help you, and it's hit to a good place for you, right out of fielder, or a good play by one of your fielders. As we see this pitch on the outside corner, really good for him by Kel Smith. I mean, that was a perfect spot for him. I might see Perez Cruz maybe get into a rhythm in this last batter.
The 1-1. Good pitch on the outside half. Now 1-2.
Same pitch, same result. 2 strikes and 2 pitches on the outside corner of the plate. Now, do we see Perez Cruz going back to that spot one more time, or are we throwing in some breaking stuff?
I'd like to see a breaking ball on the inside half of the plate that tried to front door it in the front side of the box, but did not get it. So now a 2-2 count.
I say you go back to that fastball on the outside corner of the plate. I mean, you're only 2 strikes in that count, or from that same pitch, might as well go for a third time. He needs something that can help him get out of this inning.
Contact, fouled it right back into the screen, still 2-2.
We saw a fastball there, but that was right down the middle of the plate.
Still a 2-2 count with 2 outs. Man on second base. And that pitch will just miss the outside half of the zone.
That will be
full
a full
count.
Second time this at bat, we've seen him try to backdoor that slider. Both times have not worked.
Trying to get out of this long first inning is Perez Cruz. Here comes the payoff pitch. Oh, he'll step off.
That's what we've seen a lot this inning. It's Perez Cruz stepping off the mound, maybe try to hold that runner on and get his bearings with.
Did he go? Yes, he did. Strike 3 swinging. And finally, Perez Cruz will notch his first strikeout and will end his first inning of work. So 9 runs are scored in the first inning. It's now an 8-1 lead for the Lake Norman Copperheads. We'll be right back for the top of the second.
And we are back at Hough High School. In this game, well, Lake Norman Copperheads have gotten off to a great start as we see the Broncos maybe trying to get back some runs here. Stepping up to the plate for the Broncos, the DH today, hitting in the 6th hole, A.J. Jarowski. As we see the first pitch, go for a ground ball to the shortstop, and that will be out one. A good play by Drew Roberts over at shortstop, waiting on that ball to come to him, and the throw over to Peyton Brown will be for the first out of the inning.
Just a good defensive play, a good attempt by AJ to try to make contact with that one on the first pitch, and a good job to get that done, but unfortunately right at the shortstop, so it'll be a quick first out in the second.
Savage to the plate for the not for the Copperheads, for the Broncos. I would see that first pitch, he was early on that for a foul ball. Jack Alum, the first baseman for the Broncos today. Alum, another local boy, played at Myers Park High School. And as we see that second pitch go for a ball high. This year in college, he had 29 at-bats with 9 hits, 6 RBIs, and a .310 average. He can play first or third base, as we see him play first today, as that ball goes right over his head. Would hit him right in the head if he would have stayed up. And the count goes to 2-1 with 1 out in the inning. Ryan Street did not have a terrible inning the first time up, as we see that fly ball coming right near the press box, and now the account will be tied 2-2. Ryan Street had a good inning the first time up, only allowing 1 run. And, I mean, that's all you need against when your offense is scoring that many runs. Street, the 2-2 count, will pitch, and that ball's inside. But Jack Alum fouls it off, and it will stay 2-2. Street will wind and deal, and That looked like strike three right there. I don't know how it wasn't. That was right down the middle, maybe a little low.
Very close call there, but
Yeah.
Dodson fired it back to his pitcher. We'll see what they can do with the full count.
As that ball's popped up, we might see Dodson try to go for it, and no, that will be behind the field. No chance of him getting that one. Yeah, normally when you're a catcher and you're firing the ball back to the pitcher that fast, you're not very happy with the call.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Either you're firing it back fast or you're keeping it in the glove for a second to say, or did he really call that? As that ball will be inside and it is ball 4. Because of that missed strike 3 call, the Broncos will get a base runner. Jack Allen will go to first base, and coming up in the 8 hole is Scott Hosmer. Hosmer is the extra hitter today for the Queen City Broncos, a right-handed hitter. As we'll see if he can do something here with a runner on first and 1 out in the inning.
Double play ball definitely on for the Copperheads.
Yes. First pitch is low, and that was definitely a ball. That was much lower than that strike 3 call that the Copperheads wanted.
One 0 count.
As that will be high. That was a breaking ball. Didn't break far enough. Scott Hosmer, brother of John Hosmer, both on the team. John plays at Davidson. Scott Hosmer will go to Austin College in Texas. He will be an incoming freshman. Plays catcher and third base. As we see him playing third base today. Excuse me, not extra hitter, as we see that will be a double play. It got him at second base in a very good play to end off the top of the second inning. That went from the shortstop, Drew Roberts, to the second baseman, Michael Schouten, and over to the first baseman, Peyton Brown, to finish off that double play. And the Broncos, their day just keeps getting worse. The Lake Norman Copperheads are up big early.
But just big kudos to the shortstop, Drew Roberts, on that play. Made a great pick and a great quick flip over to second base. Without that athleticism, that play would not have happened. But we'll come back to you in just a moment for the bottom of the second inning.
As we are back at Hough High School, was Tyler White stepping into the box for the Lake Norman Copperheads. He's the DH today, as John Perez Cruz will try to regain himself in the bottom of the second inning and start pitching better as we see this first strike of the inning.
Good pitch to start off with, and especially after a rough first inning of work, it's nice to come out with a first pitch strike.
Here is the 0-1 pitch, as that will be a ground ball over to the third baseman. Third baseman will gain it, and that will be out 1 for the Queen City Broncos. John Perez Cruz off to a much better start than he was in the first inning. By the first out in the first inning, Perez Cruz only already allowed a couple of runs, but in the second inning, starting off hot.
And with the doubleheader here today, you really need your pitchers to go the distance, so it's much better for this team to make sure Perez Cruz can pitch more than one.
Stepping up to the plate is Hunter Bryson, the extra hitter for the Copperheads today. As we see, that is a very good pitch by Perez Cruz, some good breaking stuff. And yeah, as we were saying earlier, and a good call by the manager leaving Perez Cruz in there. And that will be another good pitch by Perez Cruz. He has the breaking stuff working here in the second inning.
That was a sweet frame job, too.
Yes.
It just got picked out of the inside half and brought into the strike zone.
Yep.
Here comes the 0-2 from the windup.
As that is a little high and inside, as we will go to a 1-2 count. As Perez Cruz with the breaking stuff, that is a high pop up to the right fielder. Right fielder and second baseman. We're seeing who's going to catch that. But the right fielder for the Copperheads today is Layden Horn, as that will be out too. Not for the Copperheads, for the Broncos, excuse me.
Next up to bat for the Copperheads should be Hunter Brayson, the extra hitter.
No, it's Peyton Brown.
Oh, sorry. Peyton Brown, the first baseman, up to hit.
Excuse
with
me,
nobody on and 2 outs.
Hunter Anderson is the right fielder today. For the Copperheads, as we see that is a good hit by Peyton Brown, getting it past the shortstop. And Perez Cruz had a really good start to the second, but allowing that hit on the first pitch of the at-bat. Now stepping into the plate for the Lake Norman Copperheads is Jared Jurek, the third baseman today.
Number 12, Jared Urich.
See if he can get a run in and extend this Copperheads lead.
Here comes the first pitch. Inside, ball 1.
That definitely could have been a strike there. I was almost the exact same place that strike 2 was on that last batter. As we see, that ball will go to the shortstop, and that will be out 3 in the inning. A good throw by Zach Weston, the leadoff man for the Broncos today, throwing that over to his first baseman, Jack Alum. And the Broncos do not allow as many runs as they did last inning, but the Copperheads are still up big.
We right back now for the top of the third. Welcome back to Hough High School, as the Broncos manager having a quick word with the umpire, probably fixing some lineup things. But first up to hit for the Broncos, Hunter Anderson, the 9-hole hitter, coming up for his first plate appearance of the day. As he makes contact with the first pitch he sees and sends it up high to right field. The sun getting in the way a little bit there, but the catch will still be made by right fielder Alan Horn. One quick out here in the top of the third. Next up to hit the 10-hole Jack Masonis, the center fielder, also seeing his first plate appearance of the game. Takes the first pitch too far inside, 1-0.
Jack, another guy from Charlotte, went to Myers Park High School this year in college, had 43 at-bats, 10 hits, 10 RBIs, 5 stolen bases, and a .233 average.
Next pitch he sees is a ball, 2-0.
So we see him batting back in the order. He's a really good fielder, not as good at the plate. That's why he's in the 10-hole today.
That one's going to be fouled back into the catcher there as the umpire is going to go out and hand him the ball personally for some reason. It'll be a 2-1 count.
That's very interesting.
Catcher probably did get hit, and the umpire is not feeling comfortable with tossing the ball to the pitcher. So
yeah,
it's a 2-1 count. New ball in the pitcher's hand.
Ooh.
Curveball just missed high, 3-1.
Good curveball by Ryan Street, just a little bit high. If he got that down, that'd have been a really good pitch.
Here comes the 3-1. Contact made, sends it down the right field line. It's going to land foul, but will a fielder get there? No, they will not. So it'll now be a full count.
As we see our hitter, Jack Masonis, definitely not ready for that fastball. He's probably sitting off speed. And that's why he was so late on that and sitting it foul. A good hustle over there in right field as for Alan Horn, as we see that ball hit to third base, and that will be a hit for the Broncos.
Good contact there, and way to make it on base as that one sent between the third baseman and the shortstop. So a single with one out will give the first base runner to the Broncos in the first. Or in the third, sorry, not the first.
Coming up to the plate for the Broncos is Zach Weston, playing shortstop today out of Queens College, also from Charlotte, North Carolina, and he transferred from Charlotte University. This year in college, 78 at-bats, 10 hits, 6 RBIs, and a 176 average.
Makes contact with that one, sends it down the first base line. The first baseman's going to grab it in fair territory and just step on one for the second out.
Zach Weston stayed in the box there, and he thought that was going to roll foul. But that did not, as we see the umpires meeting there. I think that stayed fair.
Yeah, I unless it hit off somebody's leg, I doubt it did.
Yeah, and the umpires say that will be out one in the inning.
Out two.
Oh, excuse me, out two. As we see Zach Weston at least advancing the runner over to second base.
So next up to hit, Ryan Williamson, the second baseman, for his second plate appearance of the game.
Ryan out of St. Bonaventure University.
He's got one man on second base and 2 outs. The first pitch he sees called a strike.
Good pitch by Ryan Street there.
Shortstop holding him on. The pickoff move thrown at the shortstop in his actual spot. A good job by Ryan Street to actually throw that at the guy and not send it into center field. Still an 0-1 count.
Yeah, Street was looking to get it back to him at second base and had to make a late decision. Shortstop was not over there in time for Street.
Takes that one, 1-1.
Thinking about pitchers, and when you see the last name Street, the first person that you come to mind is Houston Street, the longtime closer for the San Diego Padres.
Here comes the 1-1.
Good pitch.
Strike just on the outside corner. A good pitch there by Street to bring himself up 1-2. A strike away from coming out of the inning.
As we see Dylan Dotson, he really fired that ball back to the pitcher. Was excited about that pitch.
Here comes the 1-2 to Williamson. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, and that will be the inning. So that will mark the 4th strikeout for Street And that will conclude his third inning of work. Lake Norman still leads by 7 going into the bottom of the third. We'll be right back.
That was definitely a fair ball.
Yeah, I don't know why it was down.
I don't know. I mean, the manager's talking to about him now.
This is bot 3.
Yeah. Perez Cruz still out there. He's in 27? Yeah, 27. The Copperheads. Who's 27 for the Copperheads?
27?
Yeah.
Zeb Burns.
Zeb 7 hitter. Left fielder.
Jerry made the last out. What's the score now?
8-1.
8-1.
We don't have a working scoreboard. I'll make sure I'm giving the half inning update.
Copperheads, Zeb.
That's crazy. What?
Leading off the bottom of the third for Lake Norman. Left fielder, number 27, Zeb Burns.
And welcome back to Hough High School here. Bottom of the third inning.
As we see Zeb Burns hitting that foul ball, he was late on that one. John Perez Cruz still on the mound for the Queen City Broncos.
Made contact with that one as well. It's now 0-2 after 2 foul balls.
Right off the bat, that looks like that was going to be right in the field of play to the left fielder, but a slicing foul.
Quickly down 0-2. Sent that one right at the shortstop in the sky, 1 down.
Good play by the Broncos shortstop, Zach Weston, just catching that little pop-up right to him.
Now batting the catcher, number 20, Dylan Dotson.
Up to hit now the 8-hole catcher, Dylan Dotson, with nobody on and 1 man out.
Ooh, that's a really good pitch, but for a ball.
Just misses inside. It's 1-0.
As we see, Perez Cruz has really got his stuff back in these last 2 innings. First inning, very, very shaky. And the second and third, really pitching well.
That pitch misses inside, 2-0.
Back-to-back inside pitches for Perez Cruz.
Trying to get back into the AB. Here's the 2-0. Hit down the middle of the field for a single. Good knock there by Dotson. And that will bring up the shortstop, Drew Roberts, with 1 man on and 1 out.
Now batting, number 23, Drew Roberts.
So Drew Roberts, we'll see the first pitch. Hits that one at the shortstop, and it just makes it under his glove. So another single, 2 pitches in a row. Will put 2 men on for the Copperheads with only 1 man out.
Yeah, good job by Roberts attacking earlier in the count, and Perez Cruz gave him the ball to hit, and he sent it right to the shortstop. Went right under his glove. I don't even think that went under his glove. That looked like it went under his body almost. He was diving for the ball.
Just went under his wrist, it looked like.
Yeah.
Up to hit now, Alden Horn, the right fielder. And a good opportunity for him. We're taking a solid lead off of second base.
Yeah.
A good breaking pitch finds the inside half of the plate, 0-1.
That's what Perez Cruz has working for him today, is that inside slider / curveball. Hitting the inside part of the play. He's pulled that out of his bag many times today, and it's worked every time.
The 0-1 sends that one out to right field. A catch is made, and the ball sent into the infield. A good play out there by Hunter Anderson, the right fielder for the Broncos, and it's 2 down.
Yeah, good job by Anderson not letting that runner at second base advance to third base.
Just good positioning on where the fly ball was hit. Not quite far out enough to warrant a tag up to third. So it's 2 outs for Kyle Horton, the center fielder. He led off with that stand-up double as the first pitch he sees is a strike for an 0-1 count.
It's never good when you have when you're the pitcher and the leadoff batter's hit 3 times in 3 innings.
Especially in a 10-man lineup. A good breaking pitch there finds the inside half. 0-2.
I mean, Perez Cruz just got off to that terrible start, but the last 2 innings really getting his bearings back and pitching decent.
The 0-2 with 2 outs. Perez Cruz trying to prevent any runs this inning. Contact made, sent it right back up to the pitcher off his glove, and nobody will have a play on it.
It's really unfortunate.
I would rule that.
I
don't know.
Infield single, I'd say.
Probably an infield single, as that wasn't particularly a routine play.
No. And I think if that did get past Perez Cruz, the shortstop, it was such a slow roller that the shortstop couldn't get there and get him out in time. So now we have bases loaded for Michael Shelton, second baseman for the Copperheads today.
An even bigger opportunity for Shelton. First pitch he sees, misses low and in, 1-0. It's a 1-0 count. That one's going to miss high. And look at that lead off of second base that Kyle Horton is getting. He is about a third way from second to third, but nobody's anywhere near him, so it doesn't really matter.
He can't go anywhere.
Yeah, that's also true. 2-0 count. Bases still loaded.
I mean, he could walk backward to third base if he wanted to.
Oh, a good frame job, not quite granted. It's a 3-0 count now.
And sometimes as a catcher, you might out-frame it. That's what we saw there by Kel Smith. I mean, that was on the outside of the corner and brought it right into the middle of the plate. Maybe should have kept it on the outside. Might have got the call.
There's the strike, 3-1 now.
Massive for Perez Cruz. If he allows a run here, I don't know if he's going to come out for another inning, but definitely if he holds it to 0, manager will let him go more.
The 3-1 pitch from Perez Cruz.
That's a good pitch.
A good pitch just on the outside half, and we're now at full. So the big inning payoff will come up next pitch.
You love to see it. Perez Cruz shaking his fist there after getting that strike. You know, he knew that was a huge strike right there. And 3-2, he's really set up to do whatever he wants.
Runners will be off to the races at the start of the motion.
Yep, stealing home, baby.
Here comes the full count. And
Outside.
it'll miss high and away, and Perez Cruz is heartbroken.
Yeah.
Went down to his to a crouch position like, oh, man. That'll be the 9th run of the game for the Copperheads, and out comes the manager, and this might be Perez Cruz's day done.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I mean, Perez Cruz down 3-0 in the count, battled back so good, getting those back-to-back strikes. He went back to that fastball, and it looks like that'll be the end of his day. As we see the manager, we do have a pitcher up in the bullpen for the Broncos.
Sorry? It's all right. I don't know. It's looking fine for us right now.
As we see the manager still talking to Perez Cruz out on the mound.
No, Perez Cruz is walking into the dugout. It looks like his day is done. They're just giving the pitcher in the bullpen a couple extra throws. And
yeah, I didn't see him walking off the field.
We'll let him warm up, and we'll be right back after a short break. It's 9-1, Lake Norman in the 3rd. And welcome back here. Do we have a name on that pitcher?
I have not seen a number yet, but as soon as I can see the back of his jersey.
All right, well, up to hit for the Copperheads. Oh, we'll say in a second as that one's grounded to the first baseman, and they'll have the out at first base, so the run will not come to pass. That was Tyler White, the DH, and the score will remain at 9-1. A third of the inning for the reliever. No runs allowed for him. But we'll be right back now for the top of the fourth inning. Lake Norman leads by 8.
Let me get that. And we are back at Hough High School in Cornelius, North Carolina, as the Lake Norman Copperheads are up big early. Ryan Street has been pitching very good so far in the game. And we'll see if he can keep that up as we see the first strike there. A swing and a miss.
So at the conclusion of this half inning, the game will be at its halfway point.
Yeah, we are only playing 7 innings today because of the doubleheader, as we see that second pitch of the at-bat going for a ball, a low breaking pitch.
So a quick 0-2 advantage for Street.
That last pitch was a ball, I'm pretty sure. Or do you call it strike? I don't know, but never mind. That was a strike, and strike 3, there it is. As we see Ryan Street, 1, 2, 3 pitches, setting down the first batter of the game, and the Broncos' day just keeps getting worse.
So it's quickly 1 out.
As we see the first pitch of the at-bat will be a swing and a miss, 4 pitches and 4 strikes so far in the inning for Ryan Street.
Great start to the inning.
Here is the 5th pitch of the at-bat, and he will not keep up the strike streak, as now we have 5 pitches in the inning and 4 strikes. The count will go to 1-1. As that ball is popped up right over the press box, and there will be a 1-2 count. Street pitching very good today, much better than John Perez Cruz did. As we'll see if he can work late into this game, as it's only 7 innings. A 5-inning appearance would be very good for him. The 1-2 pitch will be inside, and that will hit the batter, as Ryan Street will have a runner on first base with 1 out in the inning.
And that's just an unfortunate spell of luck, or I should say bad luck there, as he was ahead in the count and just gave away a free base by missing one too far inside.
Yep. I mean, he had the count in control there and just let it go. Now with a runner on first base for the Lake Norman Copperheads, as we'll see if Ryan Street can maybe turn a double play here. The 0-0 pitch will be a strike, a low and away strike for Street, and that's a way to start off the at-bat right after hitting a batter with a strike.
And it's these first pitch strikes that really set Street apart from Perez Cruz.
Yeah.
Getting ahead in the count early has given him the ability to do so much more with his counts.
Yeah, as we see, that almost hitting the second batter in a row, that slider did not slide almost enough. But yeah, Perez Cruz, I mean, he will get down and counts early and then fight back late. As Ryan Street, he'll get ahead and counts early and then maybe allow a couple balls at the end of it. As that is a good pitch by Ryan Street, and now we have 2 strikes in the at-bat as a 2-1 count. Run on first, taking a little lead. Looks like he will not be stealing here. Street with the 1-2 pitch. He winds and he deals, and that will be a fly ball. And that will be a foul ball fly ball over to the softball field as we still have 1 out in the inning. Street maybe going with some off-speed stuff here. Let's see the pitch. And that will be a ground ball over to the left fielder, but it will be a foul ball. So the count will remain at 1-2. As we see the umpire getting some extra baseballs in this one. Street already has 1 in hand. Street with a 1-2. As that will be another foul ball, a really good at-bat here from the hitter. And Street just hasn't found a pitch that can put him away yet. I think next we'll see that inside slider maybe.
The righty batter, you have the opportunity to do that backdoor.
Yep.
Especially when you're ahead in the count.
As we see, that's a ground ball over to the shortstop. He can't get him at second. He'll throw to first. And he got him.
Oh.
What a play by the Lake Norman Copperheads shortstop, Drew Roberts, as he shows off his athleticism for the second time in this game. And that's a great throw by Roberts over there, as that will be the second out in the inning. The runner advances to second, but what a play by Roberts, getting over to that baseball, backhanding that, and throwing it over to the first baseman of the Copperheads, Peyton Brown.
That was an incredibly close play there. Bang, bang for sure.
Yeah, a great play, and Ryan Street will be thanking Drew Roberts at the end of this inning. As the 0-0 pitch will go in for a strike, Ryan Street's really pitching good today. As we see Street, I mean, his main pitch today has been that slider that starts really in and ends in the middle of the plate. The hitters have not been able to deal with it today. As that is a far fly ball. That's getting over the left fielder's head, and that might be gone. A home run for the Queen City Broncos, and that might turn stuff around. That ball was hit on top of the batting cages in left field. That ball was absolutely smashed. As the Broncos now have 3 runs on the board, and the Broncos maybe can get back in this one. The score, Lake Norman Copperheads 8, Broncos 3. 9, excuse me. Street pitching so good today, had a little shaky first inning, but allowing that 2-run bomb right there. And let's see if Street can get out of this inning. 2 outs, as we see there, that first pitch will be a strike. As we see, I mean, Street, I mean, he was pitching great all day, and you can see one pitch can just turn everything around just like that. As the second pitch in this inning, at this at-bat will be right to the center fielder, and he will track back and get that one. That almost went over his head, a little bit of a snow cone catch. But Street gets out of this inning after allowing that 2-run shot. The Lake Norman Copperheads are up 9-3 on the Queen City Broncos here at Hough High School. And we are back at Hough High School as we found the pitcher's name, Brendan Quinn, as that first pitch of the inning will be for a ball on the outside part of the plate. As that will be a swing and a miss for Hunter Bryson, the batter for the Lake Norman Copperheads. Hunter Bryson is the extra hitter today for the Lake Norman Copperheads. As we see, that one will go for a ball. Now we have a 2-1 count in the inning, as that will go right over the head. When he was warming up, we saw some control issues with the slider and the fastball, and we see it there. As our pitcher here is definitely working fast. He's not playing games on the mound.
Definitely a fast-paced pitcher.
Well, I love it. We don't need to take all night here. We got to go here. And that will be ball 4, as we see him having some control issues with the fastball early on.
So he only threw one pitch in the bottom of the third and got the ground out on that first pitch.
Right to his first baseman.
So he's now trying to actually work some counts with some hitters.
Now up for the Lake Norman Copperheads, talking about he won first base. We'll go to the Copperheads first baseman now. Peyton Brown in the 5-hole with a runner on first and no outs. 5-pitch walk that first batter, and that will be a fastball outside for ball 1. The most with his control issue so far today through one batter is with that fastball, as we see the run on first not taking a big lead, and that will be a fastball on the outside part of the plate for another ball. That's back-to-back outside fastballs off for balls. That's the third time this inning that he's had that. Now with the 1-2 count, and the runner will go, but that will be a unsuccessful hit and run. As the runner on first trying to steal second, but couldn't get there.
So now a 2-1 count, not as one-sided as a 2-0.
Yeah, because that looked like that was going to be a ball right there if he didn't swing at it. Run on first will go again. Back-to-back pitches, but he might have to retreat back. That ball is to the center fielder, but that is deep enough where the runner on first base is not in trouble, as that was a decently hit ball by the first baseman, Peyton Brown, to the center fielder, as that will be out 1 in the inning. Coming up for the Lake Norman Copperheads, Jared Urick.
Now batting, third baseman, number 12, Jared Urick.
Urick having a good game so far today, as we'll see if he can tack on some runs for the Copperheads here and try to get those runs back that Ryan Street allowed on that 2-run home run. Here's the 0-0 pitch, and that will be a strike right down the middle. That's the best fastball that he's had all day. Every other one has been for a ball. That one right down the middle. And Jared Urick maybe not expecting a good fastball and took that one. As we see the run on first, probably going to steal here. And no, he did not go, as that is a fastball on the outside part of the plate for a strike. In this batter, he's got some control back. And it will be an 0-2 count. The 0-2 pitch, maybe try to set up some off-speed stuff as he will step off the mound, shake his right arm a little bit, and go back at it. Maybe he was not comfortable with the run on first, maybe the lead that he had. As the pitch, and that will be out for a foul ball right behind the plate. As we saw kind of a quick step there, he has a fast delivery, but that was a lot faster than it usually was, trying to keep that runner at first base honest.
It's already attempted a steal twice, so trying to keep him at first base is...
He might have should have got down there, but he is safe anyway at first base. He's definitely wants to go here with 1 out in the inning. 0-2 count. Here is the pitch, maybe a pitch out, as that is a fastball low and outside, and the count will go to 1-2. As we saw another kind of quick step there with that pitch. 1-2, the pitch. As that will be outside, and that ball will go right past the Broncos catcher, Kel Smith, and the runner will advance to second. The runner on second kind of hesitated, maybe wanted to go to third there, but that would have been very silly, as Kel Smith would have got him by a mile. But he advances to second. Runners in scoring position, 2-2 count with 1 out in the inning. pitch will be high, and that will get the count 2-3-2. He was up 0-2 earlier in the count, and now is a full count. As we see the run on second, taking a big lead. Maybe we should have checked him over there. Could have got him as a pickoff. As a 3-2 count, pitch will be for a foul ball. The batter here really working this count, making the pitcher work for it.
Yeah, and a lot of that is just patience, making sure you're not swinging at crap pitches. And
yeah,
he's gotten his way back from an 0-2 to a 3-2 and just spent the 6th pitch of the at-bat on a foul ball. So,
as the 7th pitch of that bat will be ball 4. A really good at-bat by the hitter, and that will have runners on first and second with 1 out in the inning. It looks so promising for the pitcher. Had 1 out, runners on first, and now we have runners on first and second. That pass ball really didn't matter now because the runner would have automatically went to second because of that walk.
So now 2 men on and 1 out. The double play ball back in order. And
we'll see what the Copperheads can do here. First pitch will be high. As you kind of saw him say down, down with his hand. He's trying to get that fastball down. As that's where he's been missing today mostly is fastball up or fastball away. But we've never really seen him throw. We saw him that's a high strike. We saw him have 1 slider in warm-ups, but he hasn't pulled it out of his bag. You thought he would have pulled 1 out of his bag when he was up 0-2 in the count, but just straight fastballs all the way here.
He's quickly down 2-0 in this count on the new batter.
As that now he will go down 3-0 as we see the corners in here, third baseman and first baseman coming in as we see the catcher for the Broncos, Kel Smith, having a talk with his pitcher, maybe saying, hey, calm down, man. Still 1 out in the inning. Trying to turn a double play ball here.
You want that double play ball. Throwing them high is not where you want to do it.
For sure, it's kind of hard to hit a foul ball when it's at your head. Excuse me, a ground ball when it's at your head. Unless you're really just spiking it into the ground.
Tomahawk chop.
Yeah.
But those tend to have such high velocities that it just goes right by the infielders.
Yeah, or it's so high that you can't turn 2. As he will go there. That would have been ball 4, it looked like there.
Yeah, it was way high.
But sometimes those high fastballs are so hard to resist that you check swing. As now that will be ball 4, those high fastballs. Definitely not helping him as we have bases loaded with 1 out in the inning. Broncos already had bad luck in the first inning with pitching. Definitely don't need it here, as if they allow 2 or 3 runs, I'd say this game's probably over. But you never know. That game on Friday night was pretty crazy.
Now batting, catcher number 20, Dylan Dotson.
For sure. What was it? Excuse me. 23 runs scored over the 9 innings of that game.
So walking right there is Zeb Burns, and now up for the Lake Norman Copperheads in the 8-hole, Dylan Dotson. As we see that first pitch was
just
a
miss.
Ball. Oh, that looked like a strike right down the middle to me.
It's those low pitches are so hard to see from up here.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to judge from the press box. That's another one.
Very close.
I mean,
2-0.
If I'm Kel Smith behind the plate right now, I'm crying a little bit after those 2. I mean, you got to give me that if you're the ump.
That one's going to miss high. 3-0.
These are missing by about 0.2 inches, I'm thinking right now.
Very close.
I mean, if you're the pitcher, you're fuming up there with a 3-0 count. And, yep, that'll be ball 4. I think that was kind of his anger pitch right there. Just throwing that as hard as he could and threw it high. As that would be ball 4. And the bases still will be loaded as they walk in. That run and the Lake Norman Copperheads extend their lead to 10-3. Not a single hit in the inning. All the base runners here have been walks, as the control issues have been key, as we see a new pitcher coming into the game for the Broncos. Our pitcher here only working 0.2 innings of work today. Started off really good. The first pitch that he had was a ground ball to the first baseman in that last inning. But with 1 out in the inning, our new pitcher for the Broncos will be in some trouble, as we will be right back. We'll let him warm up a little bit. We'll be right back here at Hough High School in Cornelius, North Carolina. Lake Norman Copperheads 10, Queen City Broncos 3. As we are back here at Hough High School, the new pitcher for the Queen City Broncos, Cormac Terry, number 10 for them, out of Catholic University of America. This year in college, as we see that first strike, he falls down, but that will be strike one. His college stats this year: 20.1 innings pitched, 26 Ks, 7 earned runs with an ERA of 3.10. So he definitely has that strikeout stuff. Ks per 9 were 11.51, as that will be strike two, getting off to a very fast start for him.
And all smiles from Terry up on the mound. He's just laughing off that incident, and he's quickly up 0-2 in the count.
As that will be ball one in the count. Terry working very fast, just like our last pitcher for the Broncos.
When you're confident, you tend to work fast.
Yes. The 2-1 count will be out for a foul ball. Terry very smart with a 4.1 GPA.
I mean, a lot of the guys at Catholic University are very, very smart. I actually know a guy who's a semester away from finishing their architecture program up there, but a very good academic school in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, when he was asked why he went to that school, it was because he wanted to, because of the great learning there, and because he's so close to Washington, D.C., he loved the atmosphere there. As the count will go to 3-2 with one out in the inning. Started off the count 0-2, but now it's full. 3-2 count. Pitch will be out for a foul ball. Hit the netting right behind the plate, as we will try this once again. Definitely can't allow a walk here, as that will be another run in the inning, and the Copperheads would have 11 runs in the game.
What grade did you say Terry was?
Terry
sent up into the sky, out of play.
Yes, as we see there, the Broncos catcher Kel Smith could not get to that one. That was foul ball. As Cormac Terry will be going into his sophomore year out of Charlotte, North Carolina, went to Charlotte Catholic for high school.
That makes sense. Charlotte Catholic going to Catholic University.
Yeah, kept connecting the dots there. 3-2 count. Pitch will be right down the middle, as that will be a pop-up, maybe to the first baseman. Yes, as the first baseman for the Broncos, Jack Allen, will get that one for out 2 in the inning. Great job by our pitcher, Cormac Terry, getting out of that jam. 3-2 count, forcing that little fly ball into the infield. As now we have 2 outs in the inning.
Yeah, and that was the infield fly rule.
Yep.
Coming into effect.
Cormac Terry, this would be big for him to get another out here, coming into the game with bases loaded and only 1 out, getting out of it. 2 outs in a row. As we see that first strike going for a ball. Second strike will go. That will be a passed ball. Or maybe, would he score that a wild pitch or a passed ball?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, because that's what I would say, because it hit the catcher's maybe like glove, and it just bounced right over him. That was a very high bounce. Very unlucky by him.
So that will be the 11th run credited to, or it might not be credited at all, as it's probably unearned.
Yeah, it looked like it was passed ball by Kel Smith. As the 0-2 pitch will be a foul ball, as we see our right fielder not being able to get to that one. That is
in the bullpen.
The Queen City Broncos bullpen.
Now 2-1 count.
Cormac Terry trying to shake off that pass ball. As, one of those things as a pitcher, you can't do anything about it as your catcher doesn't block it. Just trying to have to work through it. 2-1 pitch will be a strike, and the count will go to 2-2, maybe trying to set up some off-speed stuff. All fastball so far in the count. As that will be another pass ball. As in this at-bat, there's been 2 pass balls, and that accounting for 2 runs for the Lake Norman Copperheads. Kel Smith not having a great at-bat right now. As so far in the inning, the Lake Norman Copperheads have had 3 runs on exactly 0 hits. All of their base runners have been batted balls. Or walks.
Base on balls.
Yeah, base on back. Excuse me. Oh! As that hits off the pitcher, the shortstop for the Broncos.
Not able to get the out.
Man, that's going to hurt in the morning. Yeah, not batted ball, base on ball. Excuse me. That ball hitting off the Broncos pitcher, Cormac Terry, and going to the shortstop, Zach Weston. As that will be the 4th run in the inning, and just in that at bat, it was 3 runs on only a single. As Cormac Terry will throw the first strike in there, count will be 0-1, 2 outs in the inning. Runner on first base for the Lake Norman Copperheads, trying to make their lead even bigger in this one. As second pitch in the at bat will go for a ball. Good block by Kel Smith, not having a great last at bat, allowing 2 pass balls, but good block in the dirt there, not allowing that runner over to second base. 1-1 pitch will be for a strike, as the count will go to 1-2. Cormac Terry getting some good calls here, as we'll see if he can put him away here. Cormac Terry, as the batter did not go on that one. A very high cutter. That was almost at head level, but he still almost went for it. Lucky for him, the bat did not go halfway, as he will live to see another day with a 2-2 count. As that will be a pop-up behind home plate, as we will stay at 2-2 in this count. As Cormac Terry so far, we've seen him get a lot of guys to 2 strikes, but we just haven't seen him have a really good off-speed pitch or something to put a guy away.
He's been 1 strike away this.
Yeah.
Oh.
Feels like every batter has just been 1 strike away, 1 good pitch away from getting him out. As we see it right there, he was 1 strike away. That could have been a strike, but the count will go to 3-2. Runners will be going here, as that ball will be hit to the right fielder. As that will be out 3 in the inning. Our right fielder for the Broncos, Hunter Anderson, lost his hat on that one. Flew off, but he still gets the baseball. That's all that matters. Big inning for the Lake Norman Copperheads. They get 4 there and extend their lead to
10. We'll be right back for the top of the 5th inning.
Thank you.
And welcome back to Hough High School. Ryan Street out there now for his 5th inning of work, and if the 10-run rule is in effect, a shutout inning here from Street will result in the end of this ball game. First pitch that he throws is a called strike.
This would be big for Street, too, having that complete game on your resume and having the win. Excuse me. As we see that first pitch going for a strike 0-1 count.
Another big swing and a miss, now down 0-2.
And if you're the Copperheads manager here, I think you let Street work, especially with how big of a lead you have. You don't want to bring in the bullpen, because if you do have a bad game, in the second game of the doubleheader, you have all that bullpen to work with, and Broncos do not have that. As the Broncos have utilized 3 pitchers already today. And if we don't have a mercy rule, they can utilize up to 5 probably.
The 1-2, just too high. 2-2.
As we've seen straight today, he's really liked those high curveballs, and that was another one right there. Just did not curve enough to get back into the zone.
Here's the 2-2. Misses away. Full.
As the full count pitch will go right over us.
So, a good battle here from who's hitting for the Broncos?
I do not know, to be honest. But I'm just enjoying the ride.
That one's going to be sent out high to center field and caught for the first out. So a good first batter for Street, and he's got 2 more to get out of this inning and maybe the game.
Yep. Kyle Horton with the catch over there in center field for the Copperheads.
Second batter he'll face. Starts off with a big hit down the right field line. It's going deep. Over the wall. A home run. And this game will not be over this inning as a solo shot there will now bring this game within 9.
The Broncos might have not brought the pitching, but they definitely have brought the power today with 2 home runs. 3 of their 4 runs today have been for home runs. I see that was a line drive hit down the line by I'm thinking it's Hunter Anderson, but I am not 1,000% sure. But really good pulling that ball, hit it right at that 320 sign. If that wall's 340, I don't think that's gone.
No. Well, next batter up is going to make contact with that one and send it foul into the softball field. Starts off 0-1.
Yeah, I mean, if he drives that to center field, that's an easy catch for the center fielder, probably right at him. But because he was so early on that little line drive, and maybe at a park like Moore Park, that's not getting over the wall because there's tall walls. But here at Hough, that's going to be a home run.
That one sent very high into shallow center, maybe in the infield, and caught by the second baseman, Michael Shelton, for the second out of the inning. So the reason that we're not entirely sure who's hitting for the Broncos is that the numbers of the players is not on the Broncos website or on their Twitter.
Yes.
So we were given the starting lineup, but we lost our place at some point. First pitch there from Street, a called strike, 0-1. That one gonna end up at the shortstop.
Yeah. As we have number 1 up for them, as the leadoff hitter, Zach Wilson for the Copperheads. Zach Weston, excuse me, is the shortstop today for the Copperheads. As yes, Hunter Anderson did hit the home run for the Broncos earlier in the inning.
Sends that one back into the screen. It's now 1-2. And that one sent right back to Street at the mound, and he's just going to jog over to first and toss it for the 3rd out of the inning. So, with that solo home run, this game will extend into the 6th for sure. Actually, no, that's not true. If Lake Norman scores 1 in the bottom of the 5th, I believe that would still be game if the 10-run rule is in effect. But the lead right now stands at 9. Lake Norman 13, Queen City 4. We'll be right back for the bottom half of the 5th inning. And we're back here for the bottom of the 5th inning at Hough High School. The second baseman for the Copperheads, Michael Shelton, will lead us off here as the first pitch he sees is low for a ball, 1-0. And that's going to be a hit out to the gap in right center field, but he will not get down. A good play there by Bronco right fielder Hunter Anderson. And it'll be a quick first out here in the 5th. The Copperheads want to run because if they do, that may bring in the 10-run rule. We're not positive if they're playing to it.
It's all kind of a mystery here.
We'll see if they score one. Tyler White up to hit now. The designated hitter for the Copperheads. He watches the first pitch away, 1-0.
You know, in our first 2 games this season, we've had a lot of mysteries. And on Friday now, we had that mystery pitcher for many innings. And now we have a mystery rule as we see the count go to 2-0. And for a short period of time today, we had a mystery pitcher until a fan told us his name.
And a good hit up the middle there will give Tyler White a single. That brings your potential winning run to first base. Next up to hit for the Copperheads, Hunter Brayson, the extra hitter, hitting in the cleanup spot.
As we see, a lot of balls have been hit up the middle today. I mean, the first inning, the first run of the game was a single right up the middle. We saw last inning the Copperheads pitcher Ryan Street get, 2 innings ago, the Queen City Broncos pitcher got hit in the butt by the ball, and he almost got hit in the head again. Really getting abused out there on the mound.
Just good timing by the batters today, I guess. It's an 0-1 count.
Drive it right up where it came from.
Runner goes. Oh, he falls down, but the throw is awful.
Wow. And then we saw the shortstop when he was trying to receive the ball. He fell down there.
So
we might have a sniper in center field somewhere.
That was literally a 3-part error by 3 different guys there. You had the shortstop fall down trying to receive the throw. You had the runner fall down running to second, and then you had the catcher throwing it into the gap in right center.
Yeah, that was very interesting, I'd say.
So that advances the runner to second base, and it's now a 1-1 count for Brayson.
And we saw the pitcher last inning, our same pitcher that we have now, fall down on the mound on his first pitch.
So lots of people falling on themselves today.
Yes.
It's now a 2-2 count.
I don't think it's the field, though. It looks like it's in pretty good shape today.
Hough High School does a good job of keeping up with their athletic fields. And a big swing and a miss there for the second out. So now a 2-out opportunity for Lake Norman to try to drive in that run that they've wanted. Looks like Peyton Brown, the first baseman, coming up to hit this time.
Peyton Brown is a big boy, but when he squats down, you don't see that size that he has, and that results in that power.
First pitch there, an 0-1 called. Just need a single to drive that run home from second base.
A single might win the game. Who knows? That's a good pitch.
A good pitch on the outside half brings us quickly to 0-2.
A good frame job by the Broncos catcher, Kel Smith.
The 0-2. A delayed kick there, and they're calling a balk. Not sure what for.
Yeah, me either. That was kind of a Johnny Cueto kind of hesitation. He doesn't go back like Cueto, but he just kind of held his knee there, and I'd like to know why they called that balk.
Regardless, it will advance the run to third base.
Yep. Pass ball now scores the winning run.
The potentially winning run, should clarify.
Yeah. Still don't have any info if we do have that mercy rule in effect, as we see that first pitch going for a ball.
Third pitch. It's a 1-2 now.
Oh, yeah. I got mixed up because of that balk, everything. A little crazy.
That one's going to miss away and low, 2-2.
A good block by Kel Smith. That ball gets past him, and that is another run for the Copperheads. As we saw, he had 2 pass balls last inning going for runs, and that could have been his 3rd in the last 2 innings.
Contact made, sent back into the screen. We'll stay at 2-2. Here comes the 2-2. Misses away. Now a full count.
We'll see if Peyton Brown can get a hit here and get that running from 3rd.
Here comes the full count. Contact again. Sent it back into the screen.
Just a little bit under that one. If he got contact that one, it looked like that would have been in the gap.
Here comes the full. Misses high, so this game will continue with now runners on the corners and 2 outs.
As we saw a runner on 3rd, they're kind of giving a hesitation, maybe trying to play with the pitcher a little bit on that full count pitch. And now...
Jared Urich, the 3rd baseman now, and with a chance to extend the lead with runners on the corners and 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th.
As we see, our runner on first, Peyton Brown, could definitely go here with runners on the corners.
Takes the first one high, ball 1.
But with 2 outs, you don't. If the catcher does throw it down to second base, a caught stealing would end the inning.
Here comes the 1-0. That one's going to miss low. 2-0 now.
Cal Smith with some good blocks after that balk, allowing that runner to get over to 3rd base, have saved that run a couple times with some balls in the dirt.
So now the 2-0 count. Keeping an eye on the guy at first. The pitch is low. 3-0. So quickly up to a 3-0 count, and a walk here would load the bases for Zeb Burns. Here comes the 3-0. Does not offer and does not get the call, so will be loaded now, as I said, for the left fielder, Zeb Burns.
And if you're the Broncos manager here, you don't take your pitcher out. I mean, you try to let him get that out. And you might do it if we're playing a full 9-inning game with no doubleheader, but you got to save that pitching. We've already seen this is already the 3rd pitcher for the Broncos today, and you don't want to get up to 4 or maybe even 5.
First pitch called a strike, so a good start here for the Broncos. That one's going to be low, 1-1.
For the pitcher here, you got to make Zeb Burns hit it. You don't want to allow that running with a walk, but if you're the pitcher, you're okay with a well-hit ball.
And check swing there, makes contact with the ball and sends it back into the padding. Now a 1-2 count. Here comes the 1-2. Send that one also over the screen. We'll stay at 1-2.
Zeb Burns on these last 2 pitches just a little under the ball, not be able to get in the field of play.
Remember, we'll be back here at 7 o'clock. Who was here on Friday? That one's going to miss low as well. So now a 3-2 count. This is the payoff pitch potentially for the game.
And runners are going with 3-2 count and 2 outs in the inning.
And a swing and a miss, strike 3 caught by the catcher, and we will continue play. So they'll get out of that bases loaded jam and will not allow a run. We'll be right back for the top of the 6th. Lake Norman leads 13-4.
And we are back here at Hough High School as the Lake Norman Copperheads have a new pitcher in the game, left-hander Anthony Sullivan from Roanoke College. As we see his first pitch out and away for ball one. He's a sophomore, local kid from Huntersville, North Carolina, went to Hopewell High School. Has 4 pitches, fastball, curveball, slider, changeup. His college stats: 9 innings pitched, 9 hits allowed. As we see that second pitch of the at bat will go to the third baseman for the Copperheads, Jared Urick, and a good throw over to Peyton Brown for the first out of the inning. And we had a new hitter there for the Queen City Broncos. It was Cameron Lawson, as the second pitch of his game will be an out. Here on Anthony Sullivan, the left-hander, 9 innings pitched, 9 earned runs, 9 hits allowed, and 7 Ks for his college stats this last year. As the first pitch will result as the first pitch in his first at-bat, a outside ball. Kind of a weird delivery, a funky arm action. Brings that knee up real high. As we see, the second pitch of that bat will be a strike. Brings the knee up real high, kind of a Chris Sale, but Chris Sale releases the ball a little lower than him. As that is a very good cutter right there. Very high leg kick, brings the arm. It's almost a sidearm, almost a 3/4 arm slot. As that will be another cutter right back to Jared Urick, and he will throw it over to Peyton Brown. Back-to-back outs by Jared Urick. As Anthony Sullivan will be thanking his third baseman, gives a little fist bump to him right there, and he's a happy man. As number 5, Kel Smith, will step into the game for the Broncos. He's caught all day today and done a decent job at that. Lefty on lefty matchup. We'll see what he can do here. The first pitch of the at-bat will go for a ball.
That one was downstairs.
Now, as where he's missing with his fastball is outside today, either with a right-handed batter or a left-handed batter. Full count pitch will be right down the middle over to the first baseman, Peyton Brown, and Anthony Sullivan. He will not get it flipped to, but Peyton Brown will take it to the bag himself. And the Queen City Broncos go down 1-2-3. Anthony Sullivan, the lefty, having a good start to his day. And the Copperheads are still up 9.
Apologize, the scoreboard looks kind of janky right now. It's trying to reconnect. Having a slight issue with the Wi-Fi connection, but that one will be back up for the bottom of the 6th. Still a 9-run deficit. We'll be right back.
As we are back here at Hough High School, Cormac Terry has had 1 1/3 inning of work for the Queen City Broncos. Is up for the Copperheads, their catcher, Dylan Dotson. As we are having trouble with the scoreboard right now, as we will try to get that back and up running as soon as possible. We're working on it right now as Dylan Dotson fouls that ball off for strike one. The Wi-Fi can sometimes be a little tricky here with the hotspot. We're trying to get that figured out as that ball would be launched into center field and right to the Broncos center fielder Jack Masonis for out one in the inning. Now up for the Copperheads, their shortstop Drew Roberts, and Roberts has made some really good plays today at shortstop.
Number 23, Drew Roberts.
Turning a double play earlier in the game and then had that backhand, threw it to first base and barely got the runner. Showing off his athleticism at short, as that first pitch will be for a strike. And if you're playing shortstop, you got to be athletic. That's one of three positions on the field that you have to really be able to run and jump. The three outfield positions in shortstop. As we see, I mean, all the best shortstops in the MLB are all very athletic. You have your Alberto Mondesi, your Anthony Simmons,
Andrelton
Simmons, yeah. The newly Twins player, as that will be fouled off for strike two. I'm trying to think of some other really good defensive shortstops in the league. Excuse me? Really good defensively shortstops. Yeah, Carlos Correa is a good one. But he is a cheater, though, so that kind of... I haven't fully forgiven him for that. And Drew Roberts, that is strike three swinging. And that will be out two in the inning. Cormac Terry now has 2 full innings of work. As I drop my clip on the ground here, and heading up to the plate for the Lake Norman Copperheads is Horn, the right fielder. As that will be a ball in the dirt for ball one. As that will be popped up to the first baseman. First baseman coach has to get out of the way, and the Broncos first baseman is there to make the play, Jack Allen. As Cormac Terry, 2 1/3 innings of work so far. The Copperheads will go back up to hit to extend their lead. They're up big late in the game.
We'll be right back now for the top of the 7th, the last chance for the Broncos. And we're back here at Hough High School. The scoreboard's still not displaying the outs or the bases, but that was just the foul ball for the first pitch. It is the top of the 7th inning, the final inning in this first game of the doubleheader. Lake Norman leads by 9, so it would be a long shot for Queen City to come back into this one. First pitch misses, or the second pitch misses away. It's now 1-1.
They would definitely need a miracle here to pull out this one.
Okay, scoreboard's back up and working. That's good. That one's going to miss just outside, 2-1.
I'm a big fan of Sullivan, how just his very funky delivery and good breaking stuff, and that fastball is very good. He's much better than his college record shows with that 9 ERA. Yep.
That one's going to miss way high and away. It's now a full count.
You know, he might be working on those pitches in the offseason and come back next spring and have a really good year for Roanoke College. As that will be strike 3.
Batter was not happy with that call. He was already
jogging down to first base,
first base, and the strike 3 call was given, and he looked back at the umpire like, come on, man.
Yeah.
So now 1 out, 2 outs left in this game for Lake Norman, trying to close it out. A big swing and a miss, so now quickly an 0-1 count.
It looks like he was super late on that one. It's an off-speed pitch, but he waited a little too long for that.
But tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, many of us here at the Cox Mill Sports Network, with some help from the folks at 485 Sports, will be broadcasting the regional final game for North Carolina 3A baseball between Cox Mill and Sun Valley at Cox Mill High School. That ball driven foul, now 1-2. But I am looking forward to that game very much. It should be a good one. Lots and lots of students planning on attend from both schools. Should be an electric energy, and hopefully the internet at Cox Mill High School is good enough to bring it to you on the NFHS network.
Yeah, that would definitely be bad.
But be sure to tune in tomorrow at 7 o'clock on the NFHS network if you're at all interested in that. But it's a 2-2 count after that ball missed way high. And that one's going to be fouled towards the dugout. We'll stay now at 2-2.
And for me here, the Lake Norman Copperheads play the Mooresville Spinners tomorrow night at Moore Park, and that's where I'll be probably. And our Mr. Scoreboard here is starting, so why wouldn't you watch?
It's a 2-2 count still. Contact made, sent that one over towards the softball field. It'll stay a 2-2 count.
First pitch for the game tomorrow night at Moore Park is 7 p.m. Mooresville plays tonight against the Charlotte. That was a great pitch. I mean, that was nasty. Wow.
Yeah, just a great strikeout pitch there. Caught the player lacking, I guess, as he kind of gave a half-hearted swing attempt after he realized it was going to be in the strike zone anyway. So it's now 2 outs, and Queen City now down to their final out. First pitch to the next batter, called a strike, 0-1.
Yeah, that pitch, it started in the opposite batter's box and just went right back into the zone. And that's the advantage of being a left-handed pitcher, is that on those sliders with those right-handed batters, you can backdoor those things and put them right where you need to. Or you also have the option to throw that slider really inside and just try to jam him, as we see that pitch is high. But yeah, talking about the Mooresville Spinners, tonight they play the Charlotte Mustangs. Mustangs come into the game 1-2. Mooresville Spinners 1-3. So both teams trying to get their season back on track. As Sullivan, that could have definitely been a strike right there.
Just missed outside. It's now a 2-1 count.
Yeah, if you're Mooresville tonight, you need to win. They're 1-3 on the season. Definitely don't want to go down 1-4.
That one's going to miss low and in, and that'll be a 5-pitch walk and a base runner aboard for Queen City, as they need quite a few more of those to get back into this game.
That pitch looked like it hit Dylan Dotson on his throwing hand. He kind of shaked it off, but he looks okay behind the plate. He's got beat up today. Second time he's got hit by a ball in this game.
Definitely a hot day here in Cornelius.
Yep.
In the 90s, hardly a cloud in the sky, so basically no relief from the sun, as that first pitch is called a strike, 0-1.
Come out to the plate for the Queen City Broncos is Scott Hosmer, the extra hitter today. But yeah, the weather on Friday night was beautiful. I mean, you couldn't get much better than that. And then today, a very hot one.
Good second pitch there now brings Queen City to their knees down to their final strike here in the 7th.
This is a normal summer day in North Carolina right here. Very humid, very hot.
The 0-2, just too low, 1-2.
And if the Copperheads would win this game, Ryan Street would have the win, and Anthony Sullivan would not come in for the save because it's too big of a lead.
That's correct. So a 1-2 count now for Sullivan. Hits that one to the third baseman, and it makes it through.
Yeah.
So runners will stay at first and second.
I mean, that's really unfortunate for Jared Yurick over there. He's had such a good day at third base. Anthony Sullivan was given fist bumps earlier last inning because he made back-to-back plays on the first 2 outs in the top of the 6th inning. But that went right under his glove, expecting it to hop right in there, and did not. So the Queen City Broncos live to see another day and maybe can get something going here, as the hitter up for the Queen City Broncos is Hunter Anderson.
So a new count for Hunter Anderson, and as he sees the first pitch a strike, 0-1.
Actually, it is not Hunter Anderson. They must have made a substitute. It's Mitch Ferris.
Mitch Ferris, I see. Into the game with 2 men on and 2 out in the final inning of regulation. A good breaking pitch there, just makes its way into the inside half of the plate. Now 0-2.
Yeah. Sullivan's, I mean, yeah, he has some nasty stuff.
Here comes the 0-2 from Sullivan. Hits that one to the shortstop. He's got a play on it. He's just going to step on second himself, and that is the game. The Lake Norman Copperheads are victorious over the Queen City Broncos in Game 1 of this doubleheader. Current time is 6:12 p.m. Be sure to come back at 7 o'clock for Game 2. You'll have David and Zane up here in the booth. But for myself, AJ, and Zane, it's been a spectacular afternoon. Be sure to tune back in with us in 45 minutes for Game 2.
See you guys then.